Yeah, for taking the time and being here for this exciting new i2i guest series. Now, we have today one of the leading telecom companies in Oman, and we were expecting Dr. Abdullah Al-Balushi is the president of Ericsson Oman, a pioneer company in the Omani telecommunication industry, and has more than 24 years of experience for working for various multinational big telecoms in the GCC and Europe. He has led his team successfully and proven his skills as a key strategist who specializes in turning around challenging situations. On behalf of the Dean and the College, we would like to thank him for supporting us and hopefully by joining us later today. Now, we are certain that Ericsson's team's participation today at Majan University College will provide our students with insights into the telecom industry by offering you interesting challenges and positions for them to be inspired, and as well as exposing you guys with key areas in your field. Now, I'd like to introduce the guests today. First of all, Ms. Wajida Al-Houti. She has an extensive experience in the telecom industry, and she has led various teams in the telecommunication rollout, acceptance management, customer relationship management, and managing cash flows. She has been working for over 10 years and experienced the developments occurring in the Omani telecom industry. She will share with us today her experience in working at Ericsson and present us briefly with the background of the company. Mr. Ghani Mashroof, an experienced professional with more than 15 years of project management, specializing in program management, PMO startups, telecommunication services portfolio management, network deployment, and optimization. He will discuss today the importance of business and project management and its role in running successful projects in the Omani telecom industry. And finally, Mr. Vinod Kumar, an industry-renowned professional with more than 18 years of experience at Ericsson. He is specialized in network operations, radio network design and optimization, pre-sales engagement, potential of 5G technologies in Oman. What the Ericsson team has to say today, it's really valuable on how to successfully run projects and manage them in the Omani telecom industry, and the role of 5G in all these rapid advances that will fundamentally change our lives for the better. So I really recommend that you don't just listen to what they say. You get yourself a pen and a paper and take notes. It's really going to be worth it. At the end of this session, we're going to hand in some kind of some gifts from Ericsson. Thank you very much for that, for you all. And so please stay here. And please join me now in welcoming the Ericsson team.
Hi everyone. Assalamu alaikum. I have experience of 14 years, to correct Ammar. 14 years experience in telecom. I would like to thank Majan College to inviting us to host this event and to share our knowledge and experience with all the students. Honestly, I'm very excited. It reminds me of my student days. I was studying at Caledonian College as telecom engineer. It was full of dreams and fears about the future. He was working, studying 5 years hardly to only get what we want, what our dream, to follow our dream. So from here we start. There is a dream. I learned in Ericsson, 40 years in Ericsson, as 14 years experience. If you believe in yourself and work hard, then really you will get what you want, and it's anything is possible. Anything is possible. You just follow your dream. One day I was like you guys, as students, I'm sitting and I would see my teachers and the speakers are coming from different areas. He was just talking. As a student, I was always saying, no, I'm shy, I feel afraid, no, I can't do it. Nothing. You can do it as long you want, as long you work hard. So from here, I will start talking about my company, Ericsson, a brief about Ericsson. Anyone knows Ericsson? Before I start, I want to know, the students, as you know, what's Ericsson, what's Ericsson?
It's a company of Sony Ericsson.
Okay. This is what it was in mind. The people think that's Ericsson, and Sony Ericsson is one company. Actually, Ericsson and Sony Ericsson, long time ago, there was partner. But Sony is a mobile devices responsible, and Ericsson pulled up from that long time ago. Ericsson responsible about recommendation products for our operator like Verizon and Mantel. So we sell the product. We are not anymore with mobile, so no Sony Ericsson. Sony is different company, Ericsson is totally different company. From here, I'll start talking about my company, Ericsson. As I mentioned, Ericsson is a telecom company. I have some slides, I will share it with you guys, and I have one excited video. It's how the telecom started in Oman in 1970. I'll come in that, but now we'll start my presentation. We have Ericsson is a telecom company. It's based in Sweden. We have 180 customers worldwide. So we have 185 billion subscription. It's served by our customers network. If we talk about, here's Ericsson, we're in the worldwide. 95 employees worldwide, 55 they are working within service, and 23,000 they are working dedicated to the R&D. Connectivity. We have everyone use mobile. Everyone always busy with the mobile. Our kids, everyone. Total, our life is just mobile. But this total average 3 hours people are using their mobile every day. More than 3 hours they are using total average. They're spending mobile device, which is 50% expected growth mobile broadband. And we have 42% share of the ICT industrial profit growth. And $3 billion US dollars opportunity and digitalization.
Over 180 countries run through networks supplied by us. This is us, leading the way towards 5G and transforming the Internet of Things and cloud. We turn great ideas into global realities.
This is our product, and this is our logo. As I mentioned, I have a video. It's how the telecom started in Oman. We're going to apply that video, but before that, in 1970, when we Ericsson started working in the street, working in the vision of His Majesty, late Majesty Sultan Qaboos, may Allah give him the high place in Jannah, Allahumma Ameen. So from there, we start to apply the video.
I'm afraid I didn't quite get that.
Get what?
The title of the film.
Oh, L.M. Ericsson in Oman. Our surroundings were magnificent, and working in Oman was a fantastic experience. Around 1970, the country started an enormous development program, and many radical reforms were introduced.
You mean things like roads, health service, education, and so on?
Yes, and now things are rapidly changing. For people working round the clock, it seems, building airfields and constructing miles and miles of modern roads
And digging a hole for a telephone pole.
We dug thousands of such holes to find out what techniques to use for laying down the coaxial cable.
Is that your camp?
Yes, our first one, for 250 workers. We set up our base in early 74 at Azeba on the coast. We built houses, offices, a mess, and soon technicians from all corners of the globe, and administrators and caterers and God knows what, were swarming around the place like flies. Some instability here and there, before all the wheels started running smoothly. And some wheels never did. Many new roads only existed on drawings when we started, and the old ones taxed our vehicles severely. So, to keep us rolling at the speed limits in this type of climate were decisive factors.
How big a job was it?
Well, it was a turnkey project starting right from scratch, and the plans were expanded after we started. So, all in all, our undertakings included a fully subscriber-to-subscriber dialing system over the entire network. This comprised 25 local and transit automatic public exchanges and associated power plant, and 13 hops of 960 channel radio links with the potential for introducing color TV transmission in the future. For spur routes, 200 kilometers of 120 channel coaxial system have been adopted, and 24 channel radio links. Outside plants comprise the primary and secondary cables, and even the subscriber installation. It's not enough to teach a man all the steps in the process. You have to train him until he's an expert, before you can leave him on his own with the job.
This telephone scheme,
That's the Minister of Communications.
now, it may be worth to think of this area.
Yes, we will go and make a survey through the valley up to Niswa Bala, how to connect it, if we should go on radio or coaxial cable.
Of course, everybody fights hard to keep his part of the job on schedule. It's just that the people working on all the other development projects are fighting too. Ours is just one out of hundreds of timetables haunting people working in Oman. We were dependent on cranes and loaders and trucks. And to get things down to Salara, we needed dhows and captains. Back in Stockholm, managing group again.
I think we should take next point to the agenda. I put it as maintenance organization. I asked Mr. Langley to come here and join us today. Mr. Langley from Cable and Wireless. And what do you think, Mr. Langley? Montel is just formed, and will it be ready to take over the maintenance and operation of the system after the takeover?
Well, I'm adding the specialist staff which is needed to maintain and operate the system. There are lead staff who are skilled in switching, transmission, microwave engineering, external plant, and power.
I wonder if it's possible for those of us who've always had a telephone to realize what a new life it can be to have a phone within reach.
Hello? Of course, it'll take time before the network...
Like the rising temperature, sunrise sees a different Oman. Muscat becomes an efficient, expanding capital, reflecting a country developing at speed into a high-tech, modern society. And that change has been impressive. 15 years ago, there was virtually nothing here. In that time, these impressive buildings, the motorways and other forms of communications, satellite stations, the university, the hospitals, the schools, all kept cool by air conditioning, have mushroomed to present a nation progressing at speed. When the present Sultan came to power, succeeding his father in 1971, he had a burning ambition to modernize his nation quickly. Vast modernization schemes started on the coastline where most people live. But there, in those days, it could take 5 days to cover a journey of around 200 kilometers. There were few cars and even fewer kilometers of paved roads. 15 years later, today, the nation is beginning to look like this. Oman is a large nation with only 1.5 million people, a country where many small towns and villages still await the advances of modern technology.
If you can get the telephone, do you want the telephone? Yes, I want the telephone.
This is where Ericsson Network Engineering, with its headquarters in Stockholm, Sweden, comes into the story of helping to bring high-tech out of Muscat and into rural Oman. Ericsson Network Engineering is a specialist in building highly sophisticated and complete telephone systems. The company completes every task from planning to building and installing them. A job from the drawing board to the dialing tone of the phone on a customer's desk. Network engineering is just part of the Ericsson Group. Here in Stockholm, the company has only some 200 people supervising projects around the world. The majority of the staff are all away at work on projects abroad. It was in February of 1985 that the head office staff in Stockholm started the planning stage of the Oman project. The word speed dominated the Sultan and his government's overall view of Ericsson's involvement in Oman's development plan. The ruler and his aides marked down national telephone construction people. In other words, communication links for some 23,000 people in the areas. Time was short, in fact so short that even before contract negotiations had been finalized, Ericsson Network Engineering took the risk and started ordering materials. At the cable factory in Sweden, the workforce moved smoothly into top gear, producing the first of 800 kilometers of cable that was to go under the sands of the Arab Kingdom. Much of April and May's production was stamped, reserved for Oman. On May 27th, the contract was actually signed, many weeks after the planning and the production of materials had got underway in Stockholm. Under the glare of TV lights and camera flashes, the Minister for Communications and the General Director of Oman's telephone company made the contract official. Aerial photography of a wide area was completed, with more than 30 small towns and villages coming under the lenses of expert cameramen as they took to the air. The aerial study was fed into a computer under a special, sophisticated method developed by Ericsson Network Engineering called CapMap. The computer develops detailed maps on any scale to pinpoint with accuracy just where cables will go and the exact sites of the telephone stations. As the computer produced the detailed maps, Ericsson Network engineers were out in the project field checking to see if the cables could be buried where the plans had pinpointed them to be. The vital map production of no less than 1,800 reduced-scale plans required more office space. On these maps of scale 1 in 1,000, some 5,000 detailed drawings were made for the future telephone system. By July 7th, all was packed and ready to leave the factory. Trucks took some of it to the docks. More urgent material was taken by road to Frankfurt. There, the first 100 tons of a complete telephone system was loaded onto a Flying Tigers jumbo jet for the flight south to Oman. Signs that the project was taking a solid shape came when the plastic pipes were connected along the trenches. The ditches were then filled in and the thick cables were pulled through the plastic pipes. But cables do not make a telephone system. The lines have to be connected to switching stations to allow one telephone to be in contact with another. And of course, Ericsson installed their AXE system for the switching stations. November 18th is the day.
Hello? Hello?
In Stockholm, project planning continues at Ericsson Network Engineering. Oman is a big country, and there's still much to be done.
Hello?
Oman is on the move. A businessman out in the desert might have many urgent matters to discuss. People like him in a nation going places just do not have the time to wait for a telephone cable.
This is how the Ericsson started and telecom started on from 1970 from 2G to 3G to 4G. The future is 5G. Thank you guys.
Hello. Good afternoon once again. My name is Vinod Kumar. I'm working as a technology manager based at Ericsson, Oman, handling radio network solutions, mostly dealing with technology. Right? I know that a lot of students from here are from various backgrounds, information technology. Is anyone from communication engineering here? But then we will concentrate on other aspects as well. At the outset, I would like to thank you all for organizing this one. Basically because, there are certain expectations from the industry, from the academy. And also from the academy, there are a lot of expectations from the industry. I'm sure that there's a lot of gap existing today on this. So this kind of programs will definitely help to mitigate such gaps. Okay, before going, without wasting much time on this, let me just get on to my topic today. So I'll be talking a little bit technology. Okay, let's see how the technology evolved and what is 5G, what it has to offer to you all guys. So today, in my presentation today, I will be basically touching upon the technology evolution, okay, and then some quick market updates, and what business potential this 5G is going to renew. And then found some 5G sample use cases, which will be of interest to you guys. Now, this is technology evolution, right? So we have all heard about 2G, 3G, 4G, and now people are talking about 5G. So what is the difference between this technology evolution, like from 2G to 5G? What is the difference? So 2G was mostly about voice and SMS, right? Maybe most of you youngsters probably were not born so it was a luxury to have a telephone. If you want to make a call, you have to go to a house where there's a telephone. Then came 2G. That was called GSM, Global System for Mobile Communications. So that was breakthrough because people were able to carry a handset and talk. Maybe you people just saw that. You did not see that era before that, correct? So that was breakthrough for all of us. And then came 3G. 3G was about what? Browsing. So, do you all remember the first iPhone that came up? Yeah. So it had some kind of a touch screen. That was the time when people came to know that, okay, I can browse on my mobile phone as well. Previously, we used to do it on the desktop. So that also was a breakthrough. But iPhone was not that kind of a, it was not that very fast, but still it worked at that time. That also was a breakthrough. But then, what 4G has to offer? You had now voice and SMS on 2G, 3G had browsing capabilities, and now 4G brought with it video capabilities. If you open any web page today, any web page for that matter, there's a video link. And people are, watching YouTube like anything these days. So 2G covers voice, SMS, browsing, video. Then what is that 5G has to do? Anyone? Live action, yes. Anything else? Yeah. Now, apart from 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G will offer what else? Yeah, I would say that all of you are right in one way or another. 5G has got a lot of capabilities, and that's what we are going to see today. Okay. Apart from this people-to-people communication that we were talking about in all these technologies, 5G is going to enter into the industry. Okay. 5G is going to industry digitalization. Okay. With 5G, everything that can be connected will be connected. So more than people-to-people communication, we are going to enter into a field of machine-type communication, critical machine-type communication. We'll come to those details. So 5G is really a game changer. Okay. And we will see a little bit of details today. Now, I was asking what 5G is going to offer you. Can you imagine what is 10 Gbps? What does that mean? It is not 10 times. Let's correlate it with our daily stuff, right? Let's say that you have a high definition movie that you want to download. It may be 3 GB. The size of that file will be 3 GB. So if you have a 10 Gbps data rate, you will download the movie in 3 seconds. Can you imagine that now? So that is what 5G is promising. Apart from that, it is not mandatory that you will get 10 Gbps everywhere. At least maybe 20 times the current speed that you will get in today's LTE networks, you will get it in 5G. Of course, with that, the data volumes will increase. People will start downloading much more. And then there is 1 millisecond latency. Can anyone tell me what is latency here? Delay. That is, this property of 5G will enable a lot of use cases. We will come to that later. And then 10 years battery lifetime. What does that mean? How many times you charge your mobile per day these days? Maybe 1 time, 2 times, 3 times? But 5G is going to come up with devices that will, the battery will last for 10 years maybe. We are not talking about mobiles here. We are talking about devices that will get connected. For example, maybe your younger brother, maybe you want to track where he is going. Okay. So you will install a device in his shoe. Okay. So wherever he goes, you can track him. 5G offers such possibilities. So all things, everything will get connected. So if in a shoe you have to install a chip, you cannot charge your the shoe daily, right? It has to last long. So such devices are going to come. So, and 10 to 100 times more connected devices. We are talking about billions of connected devices when 5G is fully in place. So 5G is coming up with a lot of promises. Okay, a lot of promises. Then what are the use cases? How are we going to use 5G? Number one is massive machine-type communications. What does that mean? You will have smart buildings, you have logistics, you have tracking and fleet management, smart meters, smart agriculture, capillary networks. I will not go through everything in detail because I think I am limited in time, right? I have maybe 35 minutes. Smart building means, let's say that in your apartment or in your villa that you are living, you will have a lot of devices. All those devices can be connected and can be controlled remotely. Maybe you can control the humidity levels. Maybe you can control the lights remotely. All this through 5G networks, it is possible. That also is a possibility, definitely, yes. Yeah, that's a power conservation thing. That also we can monitor voltage, everything. Everything that can be connected will be connected with 5G. Safety. Safety also, yes, obviously. I'm coming to that in the next one, an example. Then like that, smart meters are there. Now people are coming to your house and then reading, taking electricity and water charges and then reporting it. Right now, all those things will be done with IoT, Internet of Things. Then smart agriculture. Let's say that some of you have got palm fields, right? And then to conserve water, maybe probably you would want to install a sensor on each palm tree. Okay, devices will become very cheap. And then what it will do, it will sense the humidity levels of the palm tree. And then when you want to start irrigation, it will tell you, so that you will save a lot of water unnecessarily. Yeah. So which was getting wasted otherwise. That is called massive machine type communication. Then there is something called critical machine type communications, which is used for traffic safety and control. For example, when at a latest point in time, there will be autonomous cars on the roads. There will not be drivers. So if an autonomous cars are driving on the road, and if there's a car in the front, this car has to brake, right? And that has to come immediately. It cannot wait, right? That is why I was talking about the round trip delay that 5G was offering, 1 millisecond delay and all. That is where it will come into play. And then remote manufacturing, let's say in mines or in factories, there is a lot of use for 5G. And then in yes, you have a question there.
Yeah, I actually don't have a question. I have information. I've heard like people are started using stuff like I can talk to my phone and say, like in my personal house, I just say Alexa, open the lights.
Yes.
It will open. We don't need 5G for that. We actually do use that right now.
Yes, but then that is when you are at home, right?
Yeah.
Suppose you want to control it remotely from somewhere, or while you are on the move, for example.
Oh, maybe I'm on the way. Want to go home?
Exactly.
Yeah,
This is
I
the
do
point.
that.
Yes.
I do that right now.
Even while you are on the move, if you want to. Now the problem is that Wi-Fi or something, it is doable today. But when you are coming with 5G or cellular technologies like this, coverage is available across, everywhere. Even when you are on the beach, you can do such stuff. So this advantage is there. All right? And things will be much faster as well compared to whatever we have today. Then I have told about another application is surgery, remote surgery. I can't think that, but 5G can offer such a possibility using robotic arm control with 1 millisecond delay. This might not happen immediately, but 5G offers such possibilities. Then there is this enhanced mobile broadband that we were talking about, which will give you possibility of 4K and ultra high definition videos and very high speeds of gigabit speeds everywhere. All right. Then coming to some of the key technology concepts, key technology concepts of 5G. Okay, I will not go deeper into the technical details, but I know that you people probably do not have this kind of a background. So I will say, what is the difference between 4G and 5G in terms of technology? Now, when you are saying I am having coverage of 4G in my house, it is provided by a base station. Okay, there will be a base station nearby your house which provides you coverage. So that coverage is shared by everyone living in the coverage area of that site. Now 5G, I have a provision that I can channel my beam from the base station to you based on the requirement. That is called slicing, network slicing. Now there are organizations in Oman called, let's say PDO. Okay, so they might say that, okay, I want a big quality of service, a great quality of service, not like what normal people get. I need to ensure that I have 100 Mbps speed all throughout. I don't want to have lower speeds. So they need to have a specific quality of service. correct? Now, 5G offers a possibility to slice a part of the network. I can dedicate end-to-end part of my network to that specific customer, okay? So that the quality of service is guaranteed. So this is one big aspect, slice for the railway network alone. That's another possibility. Okay, so beamforming, slicing. These are two technology concepts on a very simple format. I have tried to explain. These are some technology concepts that 5G is bringing it with it. Then where are we with 5G today? So this is some Ericsson is providing. We have signed commercial agreements with about 81 operators as on today, commercial agreements, and 25 live networks are there today. Okay, so this is across the globe. Now this is another interesting fact. Now if you look at Q4 of 2018 versus Q4 of 2019, the data traffic grew by 49%. Okay, so this is something, and if you look at Q3 and Q4 of 2019 itself, there was 8% improvement in data traffic. So this kind of data traffic growth, 5G has to be there to cater for this kind of a data traffic growth. Another very important aspect is, I have been talking about the generations of technologies, right? 2G, 3G, 4G, and 5G. Now, if in 2026, it is said that you will have 2.6 billion 5G subscriptions. So 5G is going to be there, and that is going to be the most important communication technology going ahead. Now, little bit of business, right? So we have seen Ericsson's history, we have seen little bit of technology, and then let's see what 5G is going to bring you. Now, this is a graph which tells the operator revenues, like operators like Ooredoo, Omantel, how much money they were making with the generations of technology, right? How the revenue was growing. 2G revenues was exponentially growing. But over a period of time, the 3G and the 4G revenues, they started becoming stagnant. Why? What could be the reason? Because customers never wanted to pay more. You will pay 10 riyals, 20 riyals per head, but you wanted more speed. So Omantel or Ooredoo has to invest more. Okay? Yeah, but customers obviously do not want to pay more for that. They say, and you had options, right? If Omantel was not offering, you will switch to Ooredoo. So Omantel has to invest. Okay, so, but the revenues were not growing that much. But now with the advent of 5G, the same data growth that you were experiencing, or the revenue growth that you were experiencing during the 2G days, we can expect now. So we are expecting an exponential growth of revenues with 5G. Now, when it comes to what kind of revenues and what kind of potential you people will have with 5G. Now we are saying that 3.5 trillion US dollars is the potential of industry digitalization. It is not 5G alone. Now, out of that, almost 1/3, that is $1.3 trillion, will be enabled by 5G. And out of that, a major chunk, that's about $619 billion, can be addressed by the operators like Omantel and Ooredoo. Now, this is of interest to you guys, right? Now, when I say there's an exponential growth with 5G, that's about 36% growth. That the smaller green one is the one which will happen to Omantel or Ooredoo if they are not investing on 5G. But if they're investing on 5G, there will be another 36% traffic growth and revenue growth. And that 36% is contributed from which all industries? That's what I have shown on the right-hand side. It will be from several industries like manufacturing, energy and utilities, public safety, healthcare, media, automotive, etc., etc. And this is where you people can explore. Okay, we'll come to a little bit of use cases quickly. A 5G presentation. Do you know what is a unicorn? What is that? Yeah, the horse with a single horn, right? But what it has got to do when it comes to business? Have you heard about Silicon Valley unicorns? Right? What are they? Yeah, startups which has reached 1 billion US dollar turnover, right? So these are all companies that were startups but reached 1 billion US dollars. So there is some of the use cases, right? Now, let's say you as engineers got employed in one of those firms, and then you are asked to repair a machine. Okay, on the first day of your, but you will say, no, I can't do this because I'm not trained. I don't know how to troubleshoot this. But with the help of this augmented reality glasses, you look at your machine where it is faulty, the machine will read out instructions for you what to do. You turn screw this way, you turn screw this way, remove the lid, all those things, instructions. So with that, there will be around 25% cost reduction for the firm itself. That's one use case. Another one is healthcare. Now, these days, everyone roams around with this gadgets, healthcare gadgets, right? It will monitor your blood pressure, it will monitor your heart rates, and it will be reported to the doctor. And there are certain characteristics of 5G that will enable this. That is the security, availability, and the reliability that 5G will offer. Okay? So these are industries that you can think of if you have plans to become a businessman, right? A lot of potential there. Another one, this is an example. Let's say that you have a cruiser boat which is anchored a little bit far from the shore. Okay, currently people are connected via Wi-Fi within that ship maybe. Now 5G can offer transport, all those traffic using 5G network to the shore, like an optical fiber. It's a replacement of an optical fiber. Remote car driving. This is another case. All right. Remote car driving means there will not be drivers. Cars will be autonomous, but there are chances that some of the cars might become faulty. These are anyway machines, right? So there has to be a provision for an operator to take the car sideways if something happens to a car. So such possibilities it offers, and the characteristics of 5G, which is low latency, reliability, availability, high speed, all those come into play here.
This is scale.
Huh?
This is scale. For the road users, this is not safe.
No, this is what I'm coming to. Till the time it is 100% safe, it will not be deployed. Number one is, the safety aspects of it will be much better with 5G, okay, with autonomous driving cars. How I will tell you. Let's say that you are driving, right? You are driving and you see a car, process that in your brain, then convert that into an action as an applying a brake. It will take about 637 milliseconds. Okay. If it's an autonomous car with the capabilities of 5G, it can do it in 2 milliseconds. So when cars are coming, it will be fitted with numerous sensors. Okay. This will not come to Omani roads immediately, but it is possible with the capabilities of 5G.
For remote cars, like you said, there'll be sensors.
Yeah.
Like suppose can the user have a camera so he can see where the car is going?
Of course, all those possibilities are there. I am coming to a very interesting video, and in the final, you will see that. Okay. And then ultra high definition aerial surveillance. This is another use case. Let's say that you have a football match in Oman, right? And then you can monitor using a drone with 8K definition cameras what is happening in, suppose some set of people are trying to create a problem. Then with this high definition drone that is powered with 5G, You can even zoom in to a single person, get his details through an AI interface, and then you can even take actions remotely, and then you can dispatch any support. If suppose someone is falling sick, then you can even dispatch a support to that location immediately. Let's say that you are asked to drive, but I will say that I will blindfold your windshield. Is that possible today? And I will give you some virtual reality glass or something. Do you think you can do that? With the current technology, yeah, it is a little bit doubtful. I will not be happy to do that, definitely, right? But with 5G, it is possible. I'm going to show you one video that Ericsson has done with one of our service providers in the US, Verizon, what they have done this testing. Have a look.
Hey, I'm Bill Griffin, lead engineer from the Ericsson technology team. And I'm Dan Hufford, principal engineer for Verizon Wireless. Our goal today is to push the limits of mobile 5G. We're fundamentally advancing the technology that wireless consumers will use next decade and beyond. Speed is key. We know we have to deliver the fastest 5G connection possible. Today, we're out here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway to test our newest technology inside of a moving vehicle. We're pushing beyond today's technology with multi-gigabit speeds and super low latency for enabling new applications and the Internet of Things. As our vehicles get smarter, our network also has to get smarter. And we're doing exactly that with a 5G network capable of pinpointing your device and maximizing your bandwidth at all times. We're going to have some fun today. But remember, all the results you see today are real. Bill, you got a copy? Copy, Control. We're ready for our run. What's your speed test? Copy that. Throughput looks great. Go ahead and start the downlink screen. The downlink screen looks great. Go ahead and start the uplink. All right, guys. We ready for the final test? Okay, driver. Bring it back to the blackout test. Blackout test? I don't remember any blackout test. To really kind of push the envelope and showcase the low latency, we added in this virtual reality driving where we'll black out the windows, virtual reality glasses will be run by the driver, and the camera can react appropriately as he's running around this track at speed. I think it's safe to say both Verizon and Ericsson are very happy with the results we were able to achieve today. We were able to prove in a highly mobile environment we could exceed speeds in excess of 6 gigabit down, all while maintaining extremely low latency. We took a great step forward today, Dan. 5G is the future, and today the game changed. Next time you're in the car.
So it is possible. We have seen it in reality. So guys, sky is the limit with 5G. A lot of possibilities. You can be entrepreneurs, a lot of business potential. I think you all are welcome to explore this. And then, are you guys ready? Yes. Thank you very much.
Can you hear me? Good afternoon. My name is Rani Mishra. I am project manager with Ericsson. I understand that you guys are short in time, so I'll just keep it very quick. I understand the time is till 3:30, right? Okay, so I'll keep it very quick. Project management. I think it's a very exciting subject, and we see projects all around us. We see projects, the bridge construction, building construction, tall buildings that are being constructed, everything around us, everywhere around us, we see projects, even in our personal lives. Decorating my bedroom is a project. Preparing for a certification is a project. So how can we define project management? Project management is all about getting things done in a more proper fashion. Understanding what needs to be done, how will I do this, when will it be done, how much will it cost me, how would I know that the work has been completed, is all about project management. Okay, so to understand project management, we need to understand projects. What is a project? Anyone from project management background here? No. Okay. So how do we define a project? A project has to have a definite start, has to have a definite end, and always a project has to give us a unique output. So now imagine that you have been given the responsibility of making iPhone 12. Okay, the first iPhone that will be developed, the prototype, would be a project, because you would be given an assignment, you have to finish it within a certain period of time, and it has to cost something, there has to be quality parameters, and there has to be an acceptance criteria for that. Okay, once the prototype is ready and it comes under production, is no longer a project. So the definition that I love the most is from Jura, something that I think describes project management and projects the most. Now, Ericsson follows the project management methodology is defined by PMI. It's an American institute. It's called Project Management Institute, and it defines that how projects will be managed, what processes are involved in managing our projects, and they have accredited all these processes. Ericsson has tailored that process of PMI into its own unique system of delivering projects, especially customer projects that are delivered for customers like Omantel, Orido, and others around the globe. We call it XLPM, which is a short for Excellence in Project Management. Process as well, processes. Anyone volunteer to give a definition of a process? Okay, process is a set of activities that needs to be done, a repeated set of activities. Each process has an input, uses some tools to perform those activities, and it delivers us an output. Now, PMI defines 49 processes in its project management lifecycle. 49 complete processes are defined by PMI, and Ericsson follows the same. Rather, Ericsson has enhanced upon them, considering its customers. Now, you must have heard about programs related to projects. So in case you have similar projects, like in Ericsson, I am responsible for all radio projects. Now, most of those radio projects are sharing certain resources, are sharing certain tools. So for me, it becomes efficient to use those resources together to create synergies into my projects. So when I am managing multiple projects together and I am using their synergies, I am running a program and I become a program manager. Okay. At the same time, my boss, he is managing projects, programs, and he's also managing operations. He's also managing managed services. Operations, manufacturing is not a project, but he's managing that because it's for the same customer. So he becomes a portfolio manager. Okay, so that is a short definition for a program and a portfolio. Now, PMO is the term that we keep on hearing. Many industries, many corporations have incorporated a certain function in their companies, which defines project management methodology for that particular company. It provides them governance. It provides them templates that how projects would be managed. Now, these PMOs could be supportive, they could be controlling, or they could be directive, depending upon how much control they are putting into a project manager. Okay. Ericsson has a more controlling PMO where they require project manager or each project to follow a certain form. And then we have directive PMOs as well, where it's mostly in small companies where skilled project managers are not available and they don't want everyone to make a decision. There is a centralized function and all decision make trust in project management. So why I like project management, that it's a versatile mix of different skills that you need to acquire, you need to train yourself, and you need to exercise, which is a lot of fun. So you are allowed to be, or you are required to be technical. You need to have technical expertise to understand what are you delivering. You need to have strategic and business skills as well to understand what is your company's strategy. How do you align your company strategy with your project goals? Okay. And then you need to have leadership skills. So project management is all about making people deliver, making people work. Okay. And in order to do that, you need to be a leader. And I understand that you are the future leadership of Oman, and you need to understand leadership. Okay. And how to make people work. Okay. So project management is all about constraints. Okay. What is a constraint? Constraint is something which is stopping me from doing something. Okay. Now, all these are constraints in a project, meaning that if I change this scope, if I increase it, it will not be isolated. It will impact other areas. Okay. Increasing scope would mean my time may increase, or I may need to hire more people to deliver that scope. Okay. So, meaning that everything is interdependent here. Okay. Processes. They start with initiating process in which a project manager is assigned. A charter is given to the project manager that this is on a high level you need to deliver. Okay. Then from initiating process, we come to planning process. A project manager sits with this team and it defines and plans how I will deliver this project. And that planning would not only be scope, it would be a complete plan. Okay. How much time would I need? Who are the stakeholders? How will I communicate with people? How will I manage risk? All that planning is done. Okay. Once the planning is complete, they start executing the project. Now you see that there is a loop here, which means that we never deliver as we plan. There is always a change. And some people resist change. Rather, change is good because it allows us to go quickly towards the goal. As long as the goal is clear, you can make changes. Once the project, and then there is an overall process on top, which is called monitoring and control. Now, this is the process that manages all change. Okay. And once the project is delivered, you go to the closing processes. Okay. You close a project as well. Okay. And closing is most important. Any questions till now? Okay. So Ericsson has taken the same PMI process, but it has tailored it to its requirements. Ericsson has added a toll gate to every process. Now you must have gone to Dubai. There is a toll plaza. You need to pay toll, and then you are allowed to move. Okay. Same goes with Ericsson. Now complete my plan. I will do my cost plan. I will do my time plan. I will do my quality plan. All my plans will be ready. Again, I will go to the toll, and I will request my sponsor, please allow me to proceed. Okay. Now this method, or this toll gate method, allows better governance to all parties, so that all parties understand how projects are moving. Okay. It may happen that during the execution part, my sponsor tells me you have already overspent. We don't see that you will achieve this project, so the project is abandoned or the project is cancelled. Okay. It allows a way for better governance of the project. So the same thing here. I will not spend too much time, but you can understand one point is clear, that as we move through the toll gate, the uncertainty reduces. So as we progress into the project, it becomes more clear of what needs to be done or where do we stand in terms of project. Okay, so in project management, you need to have control and mastery of all these knowledge areas. You need to understand what is integration. Okay, integration means that how do you align all these knowledge areas and you combine them together into a process. Then we talk about stakeholders, value scope. I will come into details or more on that can positively or negatively impact your project. Okay, so any person or organization that has an impact on your project is a stakeholder. Okay, why is this important? Why is it important to know who are the stakeholders? Not only that, because they can negatively impact my project as well. Imagine you are decorating your room, that's your project. Your sister is your impact your project. Okay, so we need to identify all stakeholders so that the project runs smoothly. Okay, it's very important for us. When we deploy telecom networks, for us, our customer is a stakeholder. For us, TRA is a stakeholder. Municipality, civil aviation, civil defense, even the landlord is a stakeholder. His neighbors are stakeholders. I need to understand whether they have some privacy issues. Would they allow my teams to climb the tower? Okay. So I need to understand all these stakeholders. Projects fail because stakeholders are not identified correctly. Stakeholder, what is the priority of this stakeholder? Okay, because there can be conflicting requirements from the stakeholders as well. Okay, your one sister will ask you. Okay, so that's a conflicting stakeholders. Okay, then we come to value management. Now this value management knowledge area is not part of PMI. This is specifically created by Ericsson, because Ericsson believes it's not only cost and price that you deliver to your customers, it's a value as well. Okay, when we do business, we are not only making money out of it, we are creating a value. You have seen the video how Ericsson started in Oman, how Ericsson invested in Oman to upgrading Oman's telecom, and we take pride in that. So that pride has a value for us. Okay, we can compromise on cost. Okay, but value can never be compromised. Okay, so it's value of this project, and then we define the scope. Okay, and if there is certain values that we need to embed in our project, we do that, and even if it compromises cost or time. Okay. Okay. So once you have identified the stakeholders, you start with scope management. You identify the stakeholders' requirements. Okay, I think I'm short in time. We can do it at a later date. Okay, so we identify the requirements. We convert those requirements into a scope document. We break down that scope document into a certain set of activities. Okay, so the best thing about project management is breaking down your scope into such a small level that you easily estimate what needs to be done for that. Okay, decorating your room, again the same example. It may be a very complex project, but you break it down. I will have wallpaper, I will have curtains, I will have carpeting. Once you break it down into a certain activities, it's very easy for you to estimate how much will a carpet cost me. Okay, how much will a curtain cost me? Okay, then we sequence those activities together because there is always interdependencies of activities among each other. Okay, you cannot start working on the curtain. You estimate durations of each activity, and then of course cost management. I will just skim through quickly. Yeah. Then there is a knowledge area related to cost. Managing cost, first defining the cost, the budget, and then controlling the cost. And then quality management. Okay, quality is most important, especially for Ericsson here. We believe that our leading achievement or what we excel upon is quality. Okay, and quality has quality assurance, has quality control. Okay, quality control means that you check whether what I delivered is as per quality or not. Okay, for example, if I ordered a curtain that should be 4 by 2 meters, is it really 4 by 2 meters? You measure it, right? That's quality control. Quality assurance means that you embed processes in that fault never happens. Okay, one example is something that you use in daily life. If you park your car, if the car is in gear, the car doesn't allow you to take out the key, right? We have all seen that. Okay, if it is in gear, it never allows you to take out the key. The reason is a quality assurance process. Okay, it assures that you never do something wrong. Okay, so such steps are always embedded in projects, ensuring that we never commit a mistake. Okay, they say that prevention is better than checking. Okay, so rather than checking late, it's more costly for us, and we have to ensure that fault never happens. Okay, and then human resource management. Okay, it's about developing people is most important, and here is where your leadership comes in. Okay, here where you show that why you are a true leader. And few things that I have learned, especially in Oman, that as a leader, it's very important for you to like the people that you are working with. If you like someone that you work with, they will like you back. Okay, we all work, and as students, you will work in project teams. You would have your friends working together. It's very important for you to understand that liking is good. You need to find positive things among them. You need to find what do you relate with. Maybe they have an interest in football. You can find the same interest. Okay, everyone has a good quality. And it's very important for us to find the good things in people. Once you find good things, they will repay back in kindness as well. Okay, then procurement management. It's all about what I can make myself, what I have to buy from outside. Okay, in the example of the room, I have to buy curtains from outside. I have to buy carpet from outside. I can't make it at home. And then communication management. In projects, we define how many meetings per week we will do, who will attend those meetings, what would be the result of those meetings. Okay, I'll finish. And then risk management, and then integration management, which is the most heart of project management, where all the major activities of projects are involved, where we make a project plan, where we change control, where we control change, where we manage project activities. Okay, so that's all in a brief time. I think we were very short in time. So thank you so much for listening to me.
About the technologies of the future. Certainly what we are doing here at Majan, we are implementing all that knowledge that comes up from the industry within the modules that we are teaching you. We talked about the new technologies in business and how it contributes to the strategies of companies and the marketplace. And we also talked about parts of the project management, but this dimension that they have talked about is certainly insightful for all of you. Now, I'd like to thank again Dr. Abdullah Al-Balushi for taking his time and being here with us and gracing us with his presence. And I think he would like to give us a bit, I'd like to talk to you for a minute or two in that regard. Thank you, Doctor.
Basically, Doctor, I'm forced to do that, yeah? I mean, Wajida, she told me to come here and talk about, I don't know, about my experience, about whatever we are doing in Ericsson. But I will skip that. I'll skip that because already you guys probably you have made your research about Ericsson. So you know about, I'm sure that you have Googled because you are a Googled guys. Most of you, all of you, you are the smart ladies and smart guys. I know your Google always is in front of your eyes. But let me say something else. I mean, when we're asking about the 5G, we have to ask, are we ready to really to adapt the 5G? I mean, what about the adaptability? I remember when I was working with, when I have started my career with Omantel, I was a maintenance guy maintaining no, not even the 2G stations. It was an NMT analog stations. I don't know. Did you hear? Do they know about the analog? I'm not sure. We're not sure. It's not the time, right? So you know only about digital. So yes, I mean analog. I mean you remember? I don't know if you remember those phones, the old phones, the big ones. You do, right? You can find them in the museum probably. Yeah? So I was maintaining those stations, and a lot of people at that time, they could hear whatever is going on the air between the mobile, the handy, I mean the telephone itself, the mobile, and the stations. So the people could intercept the two. Then it came the pager, the paging system. Also, I was part of the team who was managing that. Then the 2G, 3G, 4G. Today with the 4G, really, I cannot really catch up. Those are the experts. For me, I'm a high-level guy who can understand only, yes, what about the 5G, what benefits and values it can bring to the community. Then they are forced to tell me what values can bring. As Ghanem said, we talk about values rather than price and cost usually in the project management meetings, yes? So coming, yes, are we ready? I think we are ready. I was driving with Zakaria, his lovely car. It's almost fully automated car. This is my feeling. How it's automated, it has 5 sensors, the 360 degrees sensors, right? Between you and the car which is in front of you. It has also those, the sensor which sense, are you out of the truck or not? So the car is already ready to be driven without a driver. You need only to insert the SIM card and to be connected to a network which is having a fast connectivity and low latency. Up to now, they could not find a regulation for a piece of a problem, a piece of issue. The piece of issue is that in case the car should decide, should it hit the car which is front of it, or it should avoiding what? Avoiding another car, or avoiding the trees, or avoiding people who are walking beside the street. So the car should decide, right? The human being here won't decide at all. But me as human being, I can decide. Then let me take the risk and hit the trees, better than hitting a car who's having a passengers, right? So those scenarios still not built in, okay? Of course, I mean, Vinod will hate me saying, no, still we are not ready. Yes, still on those details we are not ready, but things are moving very quick. I mean, companies like Google, they are manufacturing their own cars. Apple, they are manufacturing their own cars. We have partnership with Volvo. We have partnership with Audi, all right? And we are trying really not only to think about technicality, no, about all those issues. This is a simple examples, all right, where we have to sort out issues. And we, as a technology leader, we always think on those scenarios, the values which we bring, and avoid risk in such situations. I know, I mean, Wajida, she's telling me I have to speed up. Yeah, so it's a great thing. Then the next item, I'm just bringing it up. I think all of you probably after the graduation, you will ask about, I mean, you will search for a job, right? You do, like me. But you know, I have done a big mistake. I was looking for a job as well as you. When I have graduated, I have never thought that let me gain knowledge first and let me jump from a company to another, all right? Your generation, I think you will love jumping from a company to another because you will gain knowledge very quick, all right? You have all the tools, all right, and abilities really to search and to know. For me, at my time, when I was trying to, I don't know, doing some research, doing my bachelor or my MBA, I was going to the library and I have to find the proper book to find the piece of information. Today, the piece of information under your fingertip. So I think you have to think in knowledge rather than job. Job you can find easily, but not the job which can be automated. Not a job of a driver driving a car. Probably one day you don't need a car. Why you need a car? If the car can drive itself, then one car can serve you, your father and mother as well. So one car. Probably you don't need parking lots. You don't need the huge parking. I mean, we have a shortage on parkings, by the way, in Oman. You can find it everywhere, even here. Exactly, yeah. So one day you don't need parking. Because the car will come, will drop you, and it will find a parking lot somewhere else. All right. So you'll minimize also the parking lots. All right. If we are minimizing the parking lots, then we will utilize whatever space we have for, I don't know, a park, I don't know, for something else which is really beneficial for us. So we have to think on those dimensions. Do we need, then at the end, do we need a lot of jobs? No. Probably we have to create different jobs. I don't know, we don't need an engineer to fix an antenna. I don't know. Probably in future, we don't need that engineer. Today, you want to ask a question?
I want to say something. I'm against what you're saying.
Good.
I'm really against what you're saying.
Yes.
Because I feel like you're deleting human beings, creation. I feel like we are created because we should work. Yani Allah created us to work, to handwork actually. I feel like you're basically deleting our jobs by making new creation, new technologies and stuff like that.
You go to emotion.
I know, I don't go to it. I'm just saying like...
For this reason, in future, we need emotional managers. In future. And this is one of the jobs which will be available for you. Today, if we look to social media, and I see my friend is eating in a certain restaurant, wow, food is good. Why I'm not eating it? Then you will have that curiosity. Then you will feel sad. I am today at home. This is the social media effect or impact, right?
It's not a social media effect, it's an opinion. Like I feel like, and also you said something. You said that when we get jobs, we don't actually
Then they have time. They have time. Let's
okay.
Not much though.
Okay, so
2 minutes.
You told us that we don't need jobs because we should search for knowledge. I feel like when we get a job, we will have knowledge, we will have experience, we'll learn more. That's obviously
exactly. Those jobs will be required, where you will analyze data rather than making data. Because the system itself will create the data on behalf of you. The big data, I mean, whatever you are doing today in your mobile, it's a lot of data. How we can use those data? You guys, you have to be
we should be aware about it, but we shouldn't like delete human.
No, I'm not deleting. I'm not deleting.
No. Okay, just to.
I like your question.
I do as well. That's a very good question. Thank you very much for asking. But because of time constraints, I don't think we would be able to
answer all questions.
To answer all questions. But obviously, 5G is the fourth industrial revolution. It's a tool for that. And new, as Dr. Abdullah said, new jobs will be created. Human factors will never be deleted. We are not meant only for labor job. We are meant to think, create, innovate. And I assure you, like every revolution that happens throughout the humanity, new jobs keeps coming up. But it's about how do we think, how do we go about it?
And to gain the knowledge.
Exactly. So I just cut it from here. I wish we had a bit more time for questions, but I would like to first, again, thank you, Dr. Abdullah, so much for being here and for providing us with this opportunity to bring the Ericsson team and share their experience and the new technologies that are happening around us. So we just have some certificates, something small to give all of you.
Thank you.
You could.
I think it should go to the team.
Everyone will get one.
Everyone will get one.
Of course, that's for Ericsson. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Ms. Wajida Ruti. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I call Mr. Ray. Sorry. I think it's easier from here, so you can get up. Yeah. Thank you very much. May I call Mr. Vinod? Come on, thank you. Of what we are trying to do at Majan, we are trying to collaborate and strengthen our connections with the private sector in order to bring you, because we believe knowledge lies outside this place as well. We're preparing you for the future. You are the future of this country. And what we expect from you is to hopefully go out there and find solutions, innovate, create, and help those companies to develop and achieve their strategic objectives. Thank you very much.